Hey, what is up everybody? My name is Holden Zade. Welcome to another YouTube commentary. Today we're talking about stun grenades, and the reason why I brought this up is because stun grenades is one of the most powerful weapons in your arsenal as a competitive gamer and as a general gamer. So now what we're going to be able to do is actually break down the stun grenades, and I'm going to try show you the best ways to use a stun grenade. Alright, so first off, here's a basic image of the stun grenade. You start off with 2 stun grenades in your arsenal. First thing I want to point out is that they only explode when they hit the ground, and we're going to be covering that in more depth as we go on. Next up, I want to be talking about the damage, 1.2 damage that can be used to explode fuel barrels. And then the next thing we're going to be covering is that they slightly blind the target, and they also impair the movement of the player. And we're going to be seeing exactly how we can use that to our advantage. One thing I do want to point out before we start is that my belief, and I always say this with the High Five team, is that you should always die with at least 1 stun grenade that has been used already. If you die and you have not used a stun grenade, then you have effectively not helped your team, because stun grenades can act as the feelers, as you will on a map, can give you indications of the enemy's position. So anyway, so the ground explosion, so I'm going to be thrown into the ground first off, and then you're just going to see the basic explosion. Now the arched explosion just indicates how the player can take advantage of a stun grenade, throwing it over walls, and as it lands on the ground it will actually stun the opponent. So now here's our example. Jett Jungle sitting on defense, and he's by himself, and he knows that there's 2 main entrances towards the flag. So what we're going to be able to see him do is, as we can see, players are rushing up the canopy side, and the opposite side in the middle area of the map there's also players, because those are usually the hot points. So what you can do is throw stuns up in the air, arched stuns, so you can give yourself a bit of delay and it should hit those opponents, so that will also allow your teams to respawn into the game. Okay, so damage of the stun, this is what I want to show you. Just how it can explode barrels, and just exactly how useful this is, especially in search and destroy. You basically have another 2 lethal grenades in your ammunition, especially when there is fuel tanks in the game. So this is an example of carbon. There's 1 tank there, 2 tanks there. As you can see, people hiding on that above bridge kind of section. It's placed below that area specifically. Now all these barrels are placed specifically as these are highlighted points where people defend from or attack from. So these are used to prevent rushes. So what you can do is work out all the grenade points that are indicated where the barrels are on the map and take players out effectively using your stuns, which will essentially give you the upper hand, giving you 3 lethal grenades as opposed to 2 stun grenades and 1 lethal. Okay, so now I'm just going to show you the blinding movement of the power of the stun grenade. So as you can see, there's a slight stun and then your screen becomes clear again. But the thing that is most effective with the stun grenade is that it impairs your movement. So in modes such as capture the flag, you want to be using your stuns effectively, so you can actually slow down the opponent even when they're out of reach from you. So as you can see there, I did a little twirl to show my movement without being stunned, and as you can see, when I am stunned, it severely decreases my movement abilities. Alright, now guys, I'm going to be crossing over to the combo. So now we're going to be put into an all too familiar situation where you spawn in dome and your enemy has your flag. So now we're going to be seeing an enemy, usually as they do, run loadout, and what you can do is you throw your stuns across, you slow them down, and this is the combo. You throw 2 stuns and then you pick them off with the grenade afterwards. This can be done when you're not necessarily looking directly at the opponent, just from a distance, so it's a very effective combo to slow your enemy down and get that flag back for your team. Next up is stuns as indicators, and this is just to root out where your enemy is. So it helps if you have 2 players attacking using stun grenades and you can find exactly where the enemy is. As you can see, that little crosshair marked up on my screen, I knew exactly where my opponent was, and I could eventually take him out and get the flag running. This really works well in team games, so you can find out exactly where it is, and works well with communication. So now quick draw as well, I want to show you guys quickly the difference. This is without quick draw. Your grenades don't come out your hand as quickly. This is quick draw pro. And next up we're going to see Quick Draw Bow, and you see exactly how much faster your grenades come out, thus making you that much quicker on the battlefield. Anyway guys, that's me, Holden ZA, for this week's tips and tricks. I'll catch you guys a bit later. Cheers.